Good morning, everyone, and welcome to your show, Good Morning Kuwait. This is your host, Abdulaziz Darwish. We are coming to you live this morning from the Ministry of Information studios here in downtown Kuwait. As usual, we're sharing with you the variety of segments with several reports from now until 10 a.m. And before we start, I would like to greet our working crew and also Sarah. Good morning, Sarah.
Well, good morning, Aziz, and good morning to you, dear viewers. What a lovely and chilly morning to you. Today, we're going to have various segments and special guests that we are so happy and pleased to have them with us this morning. So please prepare a cup of hot coffee and watch us till the end of the program. So Aziz, today we're going to have a really various segments and special guests as always, isn't it, Aziz?
Yeah, as usually in our show, the working crew preparing like a variety of segments and preparing a distinguished guest. And today our guest will talk about we call it something about medicine and other about education.
Exactly. And before that, we're starting all of that, we know that we're going to have a really wintry. We are now having a really chilly and a cold season, and most of the families are going to go to picnics and kashtas in our desert, isn't it? So let's talk about some of the kashtas and picnics in the desert in our lovely land, Kuwait. Some people, they go and throw their their trash in the desert, and they're gonna leave their plastics away and their bags and their food. That's really, let's say, a harmful thing for our environment. So we're going to have to maintain our environment and teach our children how to save and maintain and preserve our lovely land, Kuwait, isn't it, Aziz?
Yes, so when you mention about the kashta is during the last couple of years, people like to go in the desert, enjoying their time. This lovely weather, especially to see the desert nature.
Yes.
Some people like to see the land full with some of the greens and also desert plants like cactus and urfaj and the others. And you mentioned something important about taking good care of our environment. Mm-hmm. If you go there after you finish your picnic, you finish your kashta, take all your trash box and also throw it in a good place or bring to you together to throw it in, we call it the official trash box.
Exactly, and we have, as you mentioned, Aziz, we have to teach our children after you play, after you finish from your kashtas, from picnic, from your food, try to have your plastic, not say plastic, like let's say paper cup, actually no paper, actually material bag, and throw all your stuff inside the bag and throw it in the bin or in the trash, areas. It's really lovely, and also there's a good idea, Aziz, to bring, let's say, a seed and plant any seed when you go to kashtas in our lovely desert here in Kuwait and try to plant a seed, isn't it? It's really a lovely idea to make our desert green.
It's like innovative to encourage and share to the people to plant, we say go green.
Go green.
You
yes.
go green, you enjoy, try to do something. If you want to, we call it, if you put any plant, it's like you do something for the nature. Mm-hmm. Even it's like you have to plant something. We like say even focus in the beginning of the task. It will be like encourage the people to do better and better and better.
Exactly, to teach them how to plant and to make our lovely country green and greeny country, greeny land, and also try to reduce and replace the plastics to the usable and also the carton, actually, let's say materials instead of plastics, because they are not decomposed, they cannot actually decompose. So dear viewers, speaking about the environment, the wintry, the cold, let's check together the weather forecast for today and for the next days with our meteorologists.
We are back to our show again. Good morning, Kuwait. Now it's time for our daily segment of Kona. The Kuwaiti Navy will carry out a drill with live ammunition at a sea shooting range from 7 a.m. until 6 p.m. on Tuesday and Wednesday, the Army said on a statement on Sunday.
Sprawling across the Nile's western bank is one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. More recently, the historical site has been attracting wide media attention as it has been hosting cultural and artistic exhibitions, sporting events and international fashion shows. These events are golden opportunities to promote the tourism sector in the Egyptian economy as a whole.
The US dollar stabilized at Kuwaiti dinar 0.305, while the euro went up by 0.40% to reach Kuwaiti dinar 0.330.
Well, gold price in Kuwait has exceeded the 1,900 barriers for the first time in 10 months, coinciding the US data as indicate a decline in inflation rates.
Rainy weather is expected to start gradually Monday evening until Tuesday afternoon across the country, Kuwait Meteorology Center announced. This is our news from Kona. Let's go to this tiny break. They will continue.
Well, dear viewers, we saw that flash from Ministry of Interior. Please, dear viewers, we're going to have some rains and heavy rains starting from afternoon today till tomorrow afternoon. It's going to be like around 90% of rains. It's going to be really a heavy rain. So please, dear viewers, fasten your seat belts, avoid texting, and be aware of your surroundings for your safety and your beloved ones. So, Aziz, we're going to talk now about some health issues, isn't it?
So when we mention about the health, you always, dear viewers, have to have the health promotion as the process of enabling people to increase their control over and even to improve their health. It moves beyond a focus on individual behavior towards a wide range of social and environmental interventions. It's very important for the health promotion.
Indeed, Aziz, as a core function of public health, health promotion supports governments, communities and individuals to cope with the address health challenges. This is accomplished by building healthy public policies, creating supportive environments and strengthening community action and personal skills.
So to know more about the health promotion and the sustainable development goals, let us watch the following report about it. That will be right back.
Recent decades have witnessed great progress in human and technological developments across the globe. We live in an interconnected world with easier access to commodities and services. Life expectancy and living standards are better than ever before. However, this progress has come at a cost and brought new challenges. In a highly competitive world, we are encouraged to produce more and consume more. The natural resources are becoming scarce, and climate change has led to extreme weather conditions. We have reached a time period during which human activities have had an environmental impact on the Earth's ecosystem. We have transitioned into a world with different vulnerabilities, including poverty, loneliness, and a rising pandemic of mental disorders and associated chronic diseases and disabilities, putting more pressure on health systems. The causes of these public health challenges are complex and lie beyond individual control. There is a need for a major shift in the current socio-ecological and economic models.
What we have today, we may not have tomorrow, so act now for our health and well-being.
Promoting health and well-being is at the core of the Sustainable Development Goals and the World Health Organization's 13th General Programme of Work. The WHO has called on decision makers to take bold political actions that would shift the world into a sustainable and resilient path. This cannot be achieved by the health sectors alone. The benefits are multi-sectorial and investments need to be made by all sectors.
Ce qu'on a aujourd'hui, on ne l'aura peut-être pas demain. Alors agissez maintenant pour notre santé et notre bien-être.
Greater political commitments are needed by the highest levels of governance and by all partners across borders to implement the required sustainable change to promote health and well-being.
Lo que tenemos hoy tal vez no lo tengamos mañana. Actúa hoy por nuestra salud y bienestar.
Here are some ways to get started. Identify an entry point to integrate health and well-being into current policies. For example, solidarity, social cohesion, gender equality, equity, or leaving no one behind. This will integrate approaches and together form a platform for change.
Возможности, которые у нас есть сегодня, завтра могут исчезнуть. Поэтому в интересах нашего здоровья и благополучия необходимо действовать сейчас.
Then identify a champion to support the policy orientation. This can be at the highest level of the governance or at the local level, such as a city mayor. The process for developing policies and ideas to support it needs to engage all sectors, stakeholders and people at every level.
مورد اليوم لساحة ورفاهية غدوة.
To implement the policies effectively, a supportive governance structure should be in place to enable strengthened legislation and reduce health risks and promote health and well-being, share knowledge and build networks to address relevant public health issues.
我们今天所拥有的，也许明天就失去了。所以现在就行动起来，来促进我们的健康和福祉。
Transformative and collective efforts will be needed to ensure that we can reach the goals set in the SDGs agenda.
What we have today, we may not have tomorrow. So act now for our health and well-being.
Now, dear viewers, let's have our first interview segment with our special guest for today. The provision of good health care is one of the top priorities of modern societies. Experts are urging decision makers to ensure that health care is delivered sustainably. A sustainable health system improves, maintains, or restores health while minimizing negative impacts on the environment and leveraging opportunities to restore and improve it to benefit of the health and well-being of current and future generations. To know more about the sustainable health definition and its importance, we are pleased to have with us today Dr. Nada Ahmed Al-Hasawi. She is an assistant professor, Department of Pharmaceutical Chemistry, College of Pharmacy at Kuwait University, research in the field of discovery of cancer treatment, and a speaker in body healing mechanism, sustainable health definition. So, hello and good morning, Dr. Nada.
Hello, good morning. Yes, thank you for a nice invitation, and it's my pleasure this morning to be with you in this amazing program. Good morning, Kuwait.
Likewise, though, we are so pleased to have you with us in our show today, Dr. Nada. It's really a deep topic and really an important how we preserve and maintain our health and improve our immune and healthy lifestyle.
Yes.
So before starting our topic, we have to define actually what is meant by like sustainable health, Dr. Nada.
So yeah, in general, the sustainable health is defined as the individual's responsibility to maintain her or his health in a way to avoid acquiring chronic diseases.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, it meant by to be proactive rather than reactive. So to be proactive to maintain your health rather than reactive. When you catch a disease, then you react. Yeah. So that's the real definition. This is commonly known. And it's also meant by the healthy lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
And we all know that there is certain tips or things that already in the internet and everywhere in order to not catch a disease, meant by the balanced food and exercising, that's regular exercising, avoid pollution, sleep early, and avoid anxiety and stress, and also to meditate.
Yes.
But in this topic today, I would like also to focus on very important area, and that is should be number one, that is the avoidance of stress, number one.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a secret actually and keys which we really need to understand and apply in our daily life in order to maintain our health, starting from the mental health and then the body health.
Okay, so you are like talking about the mental health is from the first place, first
Yes.
of all.
Mm-hmm.
And then all the diseases come after that. So we have to take care of our mental health, as you mentioned.
Yes, that's number one.
Uh-huh.
And now I think in this amazing journey in a human
Yes.
being, we need to understand the reality of the mental health.
Okay.
And everybody's talking about mental health, what they mean actually the mind.
Mm-hmm.
But really there is a deeper secret than the mind. It's our soul.
Our soul.
So because we are all soul, we are souls living in beautiful bodies.
Mm-hmm.
So the human body is meant to be healthy in the first place. But what makes these bodies, to be sick? And it's like there is a belief of the aging and old people supposed to be sick. No, we need now to change this, because we need to go back to what we were created to do here on earth.
Mm-hmm.
And that is meant by the highest value. The highest value is work. So many people saying, what is highest value? Their impression is like to be honest and things like that. We call these are the social values. But
Okay.
first we need to activate our highest value in order to be in a spontaneous harmony with these social values.
Wow.
And that is the soul again.
Mm-hmm.
So we all were created to have our ultimate goal on earth. So we need to discover that. That is inside our heart.
Okay.
So this is a new understanding. You know, everybody's doing his highest value, he's happy. This is the understanding of the secret of being happy and living the inspiring life.
Amazing.
And there is a huge difference between life and survival. So most of people, 95% of people, they live in survival state.
Okay.
Where they could go to a job with which maybe it's not a high value for them, and they would say we love this job, but there is a huge difference when you say we love this and this and this, and we are not actually practicing the highest.
Okay.
We don't have a vision, also clear vision of our ultimate goal. This is important, and after that comes. We talk about the mind, balancing the mind.
Okay.
Now most people, they live in the past. They keep ruminating and repeating, you know, their pain and suffer from certain events, and they don't know actually what are they. They're not understanding the tools of managing, you know, all these the pain and suffer in order to set themselves free and be healed from that.
Yes, wow, that's really a deep topic and deep conversation actually, Dr. Neda. So now we are not talking even like having a healthy lifestyle by eating healthy, doing some sport. We are talking about the heart and the soul and how to be happy and satisfied. That's really amazing.
Yes, thank you very much. Actually, this is the real secret, which I already try my best to describe it. It's I know this is very deep subject, and I know this needs a lot of time to be described, and actually this is the key. But after that, eating healthy, practicing or having regular exercise, deep sleep, all this comes after spontaneously.
Exactly.
That's the secret, for example, of, you know, people who are actually craving sugar and they are overweight or suffering from obesity. We can't say that just go against their behavior, say don't eat sugar like that. We need first of all to sort out the reason of their stress. First, number one, not practicing the highest value, not having vision or ultimate goal, not really, they don't have a clear vision about their final destination. Destination is the ultimate goal.
Exactly.
This is not our education, I know, but this is new understanding, a new transformation. It's very important to do that shift even in education. And number two, also we need to balance the pain. The pain is negative, and we need now to understand in every event, everything in our life, there should be another side, which is positive, because the whole creation was actually on balance, negative and positive.
Exactly. In addition to your topic, Dr. Neda, I know some female actually they have some the depression. Let's say once in a month, or even like reach like 6 months of depression, and they start having some less confident. They start having some junk food, as you mentioned, sugary food actually, and that's starting to have some unhealthy habits in their lifestyle. And that's going to continuous going and going and going, isn't it, Dr. Neda?
Yes, thank you very much. This is very important message to all women. Number one, nurture is important, because nurture is meant by these, what I discovered, you know, eating behavior is made the number one by nurture.
Yes.
They would have some behaviors, and these behaviors were acquired during the early age, and that is the 7 years of creating, because this is the real responsibility of nurture, which is the establishment and build up of the subconscious mind. That is 7 years of the children's, you know, our 7 years. So we know, if we understand that, we will able to change this. This is number one. Number two, also you know, because the women, you know, emotional, and they go through sometimes hard life, they need to understand what's the other side of this negative, this emotional, you know, events that happen to them. So they need to understand what's the positive out of this, and then discovering highest values is very important. So in this way, it's like we are activating soul, managing the mind to know what we were created for, balancing ourselves from the pain, and then, you know, setting ourselves free to do what we love. And of course, we will be balanced in our life, balanced inside, which will be reflected on others and life.
That's amazing. So we have to take care of our heart, of our soul. We have to love ourselves.
Yes.
That's amazing. So what is the link between the healthy lifestyle and the body? healing mechanism, doctor?
Yes, thank you very much. That's the same secret of the healing mechanism, because that was my belief, and actually this is my journey, this is my value, this is my highest value. It was a journey of discovering what is the real secret of healing the body, because this is my belief. And now I have many of these studies still going on research about the healing mechanism as a hidden and potential mechanism inside our body, which I think we need now to have more understanding about this key.
Yes.
Number one, if we do what we love to do and we have the goal, which could be accomplished in 10 years, 20 years from now, this is the future. This is our real future. So when some people, they just have an anxiety when we talk about future, they say, oh, we don't know what will happen in future. It's like they will have fears. No. The real goal for each human being is to understand, have vision about his goal. This is number one. Number two, balancing the mind will be reflected on body. So this will be opposite than the common saying that the mind, the healthy mind, lives in a healthy body. So no, it's the opposite.
The opposite way, okay.
Yeah. So it's the mind, then the body. So this is the way, by activating this, focusing on this, now this is the healing the body. This will activate what is known as parasympathetic nervous system. Now this is the scientific understanding. When we say parasympathetic nervous system, just these nerves that emerging from the spinal cord and the skull, and it's opposite than the sympathetic nervous system, which is related to fight or flight. So this is the real reason of people acquiring chronic diseases. The sympathetic nervous system feeling fight or flight, having the stress hormones, because they live inside, like the lion is there, threatening their life is not there, the same reaction.
Yes.
So chronic stress is the main cause of all chronic diseases, even if it's genetic. Yes. So because even in the gene, a person may have the gene related to a particular disease, but activating this gene is his decision if he's going to live in threat and all these negative emotions, fears, anger, all the negative emotions that people may suffer from.
Yes.
And most of people, they suffer from the pain. They would go to relieving the pain. That's why we see certain different addictions.
Yes,
it's not only drug addiction.
From smoking,
yes,
junkie
thank you very
food.
much.
Yes. That's why our moms, they say, please prevent anger, please prevent stress that will harm your body. As you mentioned, that harm your body, gonna have diabetes, gonna have high blood pressure. So avoid the stress. So we have to maintain our healthy lifestyle, like a mental lifestyle, by meditating, as you said, by loving ourselves, by loving our souls first, and then by preventing after that all the addiction. And I heard about the cortisol hormone is really one of the most important hormone in our body. If you start, that really affect that hormone, and after that you're gonna have like the insulin resistance, you have diabetes, as I mentioned. Is that true, doctor?
Yes, thank you very much. That's what's meant by stress hormones. Adrenaline or adrenaline cortisol. Usually, we secrete these hormones once we have like a real threat. When we are walking the streets and suddenly there is a lion appear to us. This is important. We need to react here.
Yes.
We will flight. Since we have fight or flight, we will flight. Of course, we run away because we want to protect our body from the lion. This is normal. This should happen. But what happens when we just live, the fears and anger sometimes and all this negative emotion, as you mentioned, Mrs. Sarah, and it's like the lion is there, not there. So what's the solution? We need to set ourselves free from these emotional, negative emotions by balancing the negative thoughts, because the thoughts will bring emotion.
Yes.
Thoughts bring emotion.
And
so
that
we need
has some more practicing, isn't it, doctor?
Yes, it takes time, but we need to allow it. That's number one.
We have to believe in it.
We have to believe in it, know all the tools that we can use in order to do this all balance. So in this case, our soul will be in line with the mind. So nothing will stop us from doing, because the mind is actually affecting the brain, and brain is controlling the body.
Yes.
So if we can manage the mind, then we can, the brain manage them in a way that will activate our growth. Then the brain will have no any, threatening signals.
Yes,
so it will be just controlling automatically in healthy way. So there will be unity in our body, and that is the secret of health.
That is the secret. That's why it said prevention is better than cure. So we have to prevent, and we have actually to take care of our souls, as you mentioned, before having any other chronic diseases, isn't it?
Yes.
So how you do believe of this sentence, doctor? I know you believe it truly.
Yes.
The prevention is better than a cure. Can you elaborate more about that?
Yes, that starts from education. Maybe I'll mention this because this is very important in the, nurture again for our children to be really happy and inspired. They need to establish their inspiring life from early age, and that is by selecting, that's for the study now, the profession that they're really in love with. That's what some of people, they think that is a hobby. It's not a hobby.
Okay.
It's not a hobby. And the hobby actually, or hobby of the hobbies, is the highest value. Even if it's a musician, they should take it seriously, and that is a career for them. So for our children, to be in the career that they are in love with and is the highest value, then to accomplish and have a goal in this is the secret of healthy lifestyle, and this is the secret of activating all the tips and the things that is meant by the matter, the body.
Yes, that's amazing, doctor. So as a female, and you as a female, I know a lot of your viewers now from like women and girls are watching us right now. Do you have any last advice for them how to maintain their healthy lifestyle and the mental lifestyle?
Yes, thank you very much. The key is to discover the highest value, have ultimate goal, putting a roadmap written to balance and know that every negative of our life has a positive side. We need to write this down. This is important. And then you will see how your life will change. That is the real shift in any human being life. And then you will follow, I'm sure. After that, you will be able, of course, you should have also the tools of the mind, and you will be able to follow the healthy lifestyle.
It's amazing. Thank you, Dr. Nada, for generous information and for lovely, actually, advices to us. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Big thanks and appreciation to our dear guest, Dr. Nada Ahmed Al-Hasawi. She is Assistant Professor, Department of Pharmaceutical Chemistry, College of Pharmacy, Kuwait, at Kuwait University. Dear viewers, don't go away. Let's have this tiny little break, and then we'll move on.
We are still back in our show, Good Morning Kuwait. During the break, me and my co-host Sarah, we have a chit-chat about the environment today, even when we present the show today in our show, Good Morning Kuwait. There is no doubt that the caring for the environment is Kuwait is one of the priorities and also important necessities that require everyone to work together in order to preserve it from environmental crimes and also violations, whether minor and even serious also, Sarah.
Exactly, Aziz. So dear viewers, let's get some tips on the most important environmental elements and their importance through this following report. Let's watch it together.
This is Dr. Mishal Mtairi. I'm Assistant Professor in Environment and Civil Engineering. And my specialist, I'm working as environmental consultant in a couple of oil sectors companies and universities. So right now we are going to discuss about the environment and how we can increase the awareness for the environment. So actually, in simple word, the environment refers to everything surrounding us, like tree, plants, forest, and river, all are our natural environment. But unfortunately, this natural environment of ours is under threat due to the human activities. And the humans are damaging the environment. Therefore, today we can say that our environment is need for protections. The environment, we can consider our environment, or we can consider the environment as our home. This is where we live. Actually, it's the most essential requirement for life. Give us three very essential elements necessary for life, such as like an air, water, and a source of food. So if we are damaging our environment, we are cutting our own supply. Therefore, right now, we can say that billions of people right now, they are depending on the environment for their livelihood. So they have taken up all the business out of so many environmental resources. For example, there are like farmers, fruit sellers, fishermen. So all of them, they are depending on the environment for their livelihood. So the question right now, how we can protect our environment? Disposal of the waste is the main problem that threatens the environment today. And the waste just spread into the environment, getting into the soil, water and air, and unfortunately it's polluting them. So proper waste or proper waste disposal technique could be employed to reduce the environmental damage. Also, we can protect our environment by planting the rainwater harvesting. We know that the water either surface or subsurface and is essential resource that impact the overall the health of the environment. And the rainwater harvesting is the good option to save the environment and the water as well. So there are actually a couple of points we can add it to our planning to protect the environment. It would be the best interest of the environment for us to change our behavior and make it like environmental friendly. We can do that by using like a biodegradable bags and instead of the plastic actually, and using like a paper bag, a plastic tree. Also, we can walk more than drives. So what that means, we know that the vehicle today have become the main source of environmental pollutions, and the exhaust emits poisons and harmful gas into the environment. So it would be in the best interest of the environment for us to change our behavior and make it environmental friendly. We can do that by using like a biodegradable bag instead of the plastic bag. Also, we can walk more than drive at least. So we need to agree that the environment is the place where we live, and it's making dirty would be the last thing we'd like to do. So it's our duty today to keep our environment clean and safe for life. So harming the environment can cause pollution and can cause global warming as well. Due to this, many human and animal can be affected. Therefore, as we just mentioned, we need to agree that saving the environment is the best option, which is need to be done. Thank you for having me, and see you next time.
We are back to our show again. Good morning, Kuwait. We are moving for our second interview segment. The renaissance and the advancement of nations is measured by the level of education and training in them, and the service they provide to advance the individual and also the society. In this context, the institutions considered with training and development receive great attention at various levels to enhance the capabilities of the human elements in various fields. There is no doubt that the human element and also has become an essential element for the success of the contemporary institutions and achieving their goals effectively and also efficiently. In the face of these contemporary challenges that the institutions are already going through today, it was necessary for these institutions to try to play an important role in developing and improving a human performance in order to achieve a positive confrontation of these challenges. So the human elements participate in their success and achieving their goals. Today we are shedding the light on the importance of training and development in general, in the field of navigation and also communications in particular. We are pleased to have with us today, we'll talk more about this topic with Captain Mundir Al-Kindiri, EX Director of High Institute of Telecommunication and Navigation. Hello and good morning.
Good morning to you, sir. How are you doing?
You're most welcome, and thank you so much for joining us today on our show, Good Morning Kuwait. You see, today the topic already presented to you about the development,
exactly,
rehabilitation,
yep,
and education. Tell me about your role in this kind of project. I know you're being in this project for a long time.
Exactly.
And you and your all working crew.
Yes.
What about your role?
Actually, I spent around more than 30 years in training and development sector in Kuwait. So I joined the the Public Authority for Applied Education and Training in 1992. And since that date, I'm graduate more than 6,000 trainee students, about 2,000 instructors, I trained also around maybe 2,000 also employees in different sector in Kuwait. So the training, it's play really an important role in the development sector and the development in each sector in Kuwait. Yes.
So you mentioned from 1992
yes, exactly.
until 2023,
yes.
more than 20 years.
More than 30 years,
30
exactly.
Years, 30 years of accomplishment, 30 years of achievement, 30 years for what we call continuous of your success. So when we talk about this kind of education, we're mentioning also the field trainings, the skills you're already improving for our students, for we call it the futures already. We call futures, we can say futures captains.
Exactly.
So we give academic education, you are improving them. What is the importance of these individuals for the country and for the development in your point of view as 30 years in this field?
Actually, the field training is one of the most important parts in the training program and in education program. We can say that we need to transfer the training.
Transfer the training.
Yes, transfer training. What's meaning of the transfer training? That's whatever he took during the theoretical part, he should apply it in the field. So the link or the joint link between the education part and the employment part, it's the field training. So it's really a link which is transfer the trainee student to the work environment and the responsibility how to be an employee.
So we can say that field training always, because when you experience the real things in yourself, it's like you are gaining the experience more and more than you already been in the field. In the field, better than disk.
Exactly. Now, let's assume that we are not talking now about knowledge. We are talking now about experiences. So transfer the experience to the trainee student. This is the most important part in the training and development. I mean, the experience is really how to do the job, how to do the task of the job. This is the concentration of the training and development.
We can see some of the shots about, we call it the simulator.
Yes, exactly.
So when we talk about the simulators, we'll talk about the new trends and practices for the training development, because these technologies we mentioned already 10 years ago.
Yes, exactly.
Every time it's developing for a new technology, for a new program, for a new system.
Yes.
So what about the new trends, Captain?
We have the new trends now in the Higher Institute and Telecommunication and Navigation Institute. The trend of the simulators, that's to provide an active environment training for the trainee student.
Okay.
I mean, especially in the dangerous specifications, like the navigation, like the ATC, the air traffic control. The trainee student, as soon as he did a mistake in the real field, so it's make a big accident. So for that, the simulator, yes, for that the simulators, he have the free to do his job, and without any risk on the environment. So he can make a mistake, he can recorrect himself, and so on.
So we can say like simulators and training courses always like provide the students, when we become a future leader or a future captain or will be in navigation, they will be more experienced, more skilled.
That's the aim of the simulator. That's to transfer the experience, provide him with the skills, and doing it in the safe environment.
Safe environment.
Yes.
Even to handle the stress, because you're working in navigation.
Exactly.
You have to be quick judgment.
Yeah, exactly. Now let's assume maybe in 20 years you don't face an
issue.
An issue and a dangerous issue in your job. But maybe a new employee that he face a risk in the first year. He's unlucky. I mean, so this simulator we can make a scenario on him and make a storyboard for the risk that he maybe he could or he would face it in the future. That's why we make him practice on these risks, and for the future he will feel, I mean, he have in his back experience, he faced this one in the simulator. So as soon as it's happened in the real life, so he can face it directly.
Nice. So because he have already a good feedback,
Yes.
so he can already implement in a good way in the case of the navigation.
Exactly.
This is we called about the training course. We'll go back again to see for the labor market, because we are already dealing with fresh graduate from the high school.
Exactly.
Year by year, the fresh graduate from the high school are increasing.
Exactly.
Like we are in the off air, we spoke like after 10 years, it will be more than 10,000 students graduate from high schools. How can the applied education, the institute, dealing with this kind of increasing of the high schools education?
Yes, I made a study on the I mean the kids which born in 2021.
Yes.
The number of the student, let's say, it will be after 18 years around 53 student who supposed to graduate from the high school. Last year, the number of the students which graduate from the high school is 43,000. Now we have an increase by 10,000. So in this case, we need really a good judgment to find out, is there a vacancies for all these numbers to inside the colleges, inside the private colleges, inside the public authority for applied and education and training. So it's need really a good future strategy.
So when we say the administration of High Institute for Communication and Navigation, usually for the latest, they're always providing the latest technologies, latest simulators,
yes,
latest field training, latest courses. So what about the new technology inside the institute itself? What about the new technologies? I know when I visit the institute, I usually see something new.
Yes,
like
exactly.
a brand new technology. What about the new upcoming now? Because this is now 2023.
Yes,
what
exactly.
about the latest technology?
The last two things that is really new now in the institute. The first thing, it's we have a simulator on fiber optic, and we are the only institutional and training sector that provide this simulator. As well, we design a new program on the cybersecurity training course for 2 years, and we are actually the first body who's provide this diploma in Kuwait also.
So the fiber optics they are the first institute who are providing the fiber optics.
Yes, exactly, the diploma and the cybersecurity.
The cybersecurity.
And this is the trend for the world now.
When you mention about the cybersecurity, it's the most trending now and all around the world, because we're dealing with new technology, so it have to be a good cybersecurity, especially the simulators.
Exactly. The cybersecurity now, it's the new trend, because we are facing the hacking, we are facing the to secure the information. We know that we are dealing now with a kind of information, and the security, we need really a good security.
And we see already some of glimpse or the working group preparing some of the new technologies, the surveillance cameras.
Yes.
And also too many like for the system.
This is the CCB, the program for the camera for maintenance and providing. This is the chart work for the navigation, marine navigation.
What about this one?
This one, the electronics and digital exams, and so on.
With their uniform, wearing their uniform,
yes,
everyone is ready?
Yes, and that's what makes the institute is really, especially navigation department, it's really something special because of the uniform.
Because you are preparing for them for they will be like in the field as soon as possible.
Yes, exactly.
So when we talk about the capabilities, the administration, the machines, the technology, these are also for the next development plan for the new Kuwait 2035.
Yes, exactly.
So how can these capabilities and the development you have now, you're already seeking about the future, you're already preparing for the next high school graduate.
Yes.
So how can the capabilities supporting the new development plan?
Actually, if you see the development plan for Kuwait, for new Kuwait 2035, that you will find that there is really requirements for the infrastructure. And when we talk about infrastructure, so we are talking about marine, yes. We are talking about airports, we are talking about ports, we are talking about electricity. So it's the infrastructure, one of the pillar of the development of the Kuwait plan. The second thing which is really important, that we need to analysis, I mean all the educational and training bodies need to analysis the development plan to find out what's really the specifications which is required in the future and it's not available now. Nice. For example, there is from my point of view, when I make an analysis, I find that there is a real need for the environment engineering. Okay. Specification. This specification.
It's a new coming now.
Yes, yes, and this specification is not available in Kuwait now. So this is an example. The other examples is the train and metro specifications, how to manage and operate the train and the railway and the metro as well. Nice. So you have many specifications that we need to analysis the development plan to find out these specifications and how we can doing the jet view just in time. I mean, to provide the market with the graduated as soon as the project is established. Not as we usually did, that we establish the project, we import a labor from outside, then we said we need equalization and we put the Kuwaitis inside, and we need a future step for this.
So Captain Mundir Kinderi, we say all the times, good times run very fast.
Exactly. Thank you.
We didn't fill the time. Now we finished the takeoff. We are arrivals now.
Yes,
thank you so
exactly.
Much.
Thank you very much.
You're most welcome. So all thanks and appreciation to our guest, Captain Mundir Kinderi, EX Director of the High Institute of Telecommunications and also Navigation. He already sharing with us about the new development inside the institute, even about the simulators and the future agenda. Now, dear viewers, we go to this tiny break. They will continue your show, GMK. Good morning, Kuwait.
That was really lovely interview with my colleague Aziz and our guest Captain Mundir. Today, Aziz, was really lovely episode. We spoke about, about the environment, how to maintain our environment, and with my guest actually, Dr. Nada Al Hassawi, we spoke about how we maintain our healthy lifestyle, but in a deeper way, which is how we can maintain our mental health as well, and our soul and our heart.
Even with our guest, also distinguished guest, Captain Mundir Kinderi, he spoke about the new development inside the Institute for Applied Education, inside the telecommunication and also navigation, about the new technology, the new simulators, we call it the people who's working in this kind of field. So now on behalf of our show, Good Morning Kuwait, we're sending our gratitude for the people who's working in this field, for our future captains.
That's amazing. And for me, I would like to advise our lovely dear viewers, especially girls and women, please take care of yourself, of your mental health, and about your heart as well. Dear viewers, I hope you enjoyed our episode as much as we did. See you for the next one and have a warm day. Bye-bye.
See you tomorrow. Have a good day.